Welcome back to the Quickbooks video series hosted by Protea Academy. Today we'll be taking a look at the profit and loss reports. First, you'll need to scroll to the left-hand panel and click on the Reports button. This will bring up the Reports tab, showing all the reports that you can pull in QuickBooks. At the top, it shows us our favorite reports. If we scroll down, you can make any one of these reports your favorite by clicking on the star button. Let's make the accounts payable aging summary one of our favorites. If you scroll to the top, you'll now see that it's part of our favorites. Let's take a look at the profit and loss reports. Let's scroll up to the top. As you can see, it automatically populates a profit and loss report for our company, but we can make some changes to get specific data. The first part we can change is the report period. There are many different options to use, including last month, last year, this year to last month, and even today's date. Let's click on the this year to last month. You can also choose a specific day or week or time period by using the date options. You can also choose your display columns. There are quite a few options. For the profit and loss, we usually select month, so we can compare month-on-month data when reviewing the financials. You can also select which rows and which columns to display, whether you want only accounts that are active, all accounts, or only accounts that have dollar values in them. You can also make these selections for the column items. Let's then take a look at the Compare Another Period button. You can compare the previous period, which is the period you selected for this year just in the prior year, or you can select the previous year, which will then compare to the full 2023 year. If you select the Year-to-Date button, this will compare the current month to the previous year-to-date. You can also then decide to have a dollar change column or a percentage change column once you've selected these buttons. There are also a few other comparison options. Next, we can look at our accounting method. This is imperative when pulling your reports. Make sure that when you set up the company, you choose the default you're most likely to use throughout the year, which can either be the cash method or the accrual method. Let's run this report and see how it looks. As you can see, we are pulling this year to last month by months. And as you can see, this helps with comparing the totals in the month. You can also resize your columns by dragging just like you would in Excel. You can then click on the Reset Column Width, and this will take you back to the original widths. There are also a few options in the top left. You can sort the accounts by default or ascending or descending order. If you click on ascending order, it will still keep your income at the top. But as you can see with our expenses, it's sorted by the smallest amount to the largest amount total. Let's take it back to default. We can also add notes. This adds a block at the bottom of your report to add any notes you might have. If you click on Edit Titles, this will bring up all the headings on the report, and you can rename these as you need. On the right-hand side, we can also email the report. If we click this button, it will bring up a preview of how the email would look, and it would send a PDF to the person receiving the email. Alternatively, we can print or save as PDF from the screen. We can also directly print from the print icon, and we can export this profit and loss to a few ways, including Excel or CSV or PDF. We can also add the profit and loss to the management accounts, which we'll take a look at later. The gear icon also allows you to change the compact settings. Let's take a look at our profit and loss report. One thing you can do is by clicking on any of the amounts, it has a link which will bring up a account of that amount. As you can see, a GL for February of this year now is brought up by clicking on the amount on our profit and loss report and giving us more detail of what makes up that amount. We can also click on any of the total numbers that will bring up the total sales for the entire year and all the accounts that make up total sales. Here we can see the detail of all our sales accounts, going from the beginning of the year till year to date. This is one of the easiest ways to find information on totals or total accounts, to pull up your report and then click on the links that make up that number. Accountants will use a profit and loss by month to analyze the data and to check what might be missing or incorrectly processed. Here we can see, for instance, there's something under other expenses that should not be there. If we go back to the top, we'll see that we have another account that has similar amounts in it. This will prompt us to maybe combine or merge these accounts or to reallocate the amounts under other expenses. That's why your profit and loss tool is important for reviewing and for your accountants. At the bottom, you can see it tells you exactly what basis, time, and date the report was pulled, which is also important if you export this report. Let's take a look at some of the comparison methods. If we just look at the total and compare to prior year, you'll see the prior year column. We can also add the change dollar and change percentage column. As we only started our QuickBooks this year, there's not much information with this comparison. But if we compare it to the year-to-date figures, we'll see that it brings up some of the information and compares it to the year-to-date. Let's look up last month compared to year-to-date. As you can see, it will show you the percentage last month is compared to the year-to-date percentage. These are good analysis tools for your accountant. Let's now go take a look at the customization button. Over here, we'll see a few of the buttons we've already seen, like the report period. You can also change that here, as well as the cash or accrual method. You can then also click the divide by 1,000 or without cents buttons. These will all make the relevant changes to your profit and loss statement. You can choose how to display your negative numbers, and you can also decide to have them shown in red. Let's take a look at the row and column changes. We can change the total columns to months, quarters, the same as what we could do on the tab out front. And we can change which comparison periods we use or which lines and rows we show. These options were all on the front screen. Something that's quite handy is the filter option. Here it allows us to filter by different parameters, like by if we only want income or expense accounts, or cost of good accounts, or all our expense accounts. Or we can even select certain accounts we want to filter by. You can click this filter on and off. And here you'll see all the accounts you can click on to filter by. And you can even filter by more than one account. You can then filter by customer in a similar way, by vendor, and it will bring up all the vendors to choose from, by employee, and by product and service item. As you can see, it also says specified or non-specified. Non-specified will be items that don't have customers, vendors, or product and service items. If you filter by these, your profit and loss will show up as these filters, and these filters will be applied. Let's make a few changes up top by clicking without cents, showing our negative numbers in brackets and red, and run the report. Here we can see the changes we apply. There are no cents and the negative numbers are in red and brackets. On your report, you can click the drop-down arrows to summarize and only show the headings. As you can see, you now have a summarized profit and loss report. We can then save this customization, and it will save the report under customizations, which I'll show you later. Let's rename the report here so we know exactly which report we're looking for. You can share this with anyone linked to your QuickBooks. Let's click Save. Let's go to the Reports tab and look at the Customize Reports tab within. Here we can see the report we just saved. The drop-down gives us options to export the report or add it to our management reports. We can then create new management reports or add to existing management reports. Let's create a management report package. Let's click on the profit and loss report. As you can see, it will bring up exactly the customizations we had previously made. If we go to our Management Reports tab, we'll be able to see the financial package that we created. Over here, you can change the period that the financial report reports about, as well as see a preview. As you can see, it brings up with the front cover, a table of contents, and the profit and loss that we added. There are some pre-populated QuickBooks reports that have been added. You can also click on Create Management Reports. This will create a new report where you can edit some of the pages, like the covered page, where you can choose whichever set of management reports you'd like and how you'd like it to look. You can add your logo. You can also change any of these blocks below, including the prepared on date and prepared by. You then have a table of context page, a preliminary pages, your reports and charts that you can add there, and your notes. On the reports and charts, you can add any of the reports you'll find in QuickBooks. You can also click on more options, and this will just give you items that you can also edit as you go. As we go through the videos, we'll add more and more reports to the management reports. And then we'll take a look at the final version at the end of all our report videos. Let's go back to our standard reports tab. Let's type in profit and loss. As you can see, there's quite a few options that come up under profit and loss. So a lot of the customizations we made can be pulled as separate reports straight from the QuickBooks Reports tab, like this comparison report. Let's go take a look at some of the other profit and loss reports. You can do it by tag groups if you have that set up, or as a percentage of total income, or by customer. Let's look at the by customer report. Here it will show all our income and expenditure per customer that we have. We can also select the percentage of total income report. And here it will show us the year to date versus the percentage of income. These are all good reports to use when you're trying to analyze the data of your firm. Some other reports are the profit and loss by month, which we already customized on our standard profit and loss, but you can click here to pull it straight away. You also have a quarterly profit and loss, and then here is our customized profit and loss that we created. We can also scroll down and you'll be able to see these profit and loss reports that we searched within our business overview tab, as well as a few lower down. Hopefully, this overview of the profit and loss report has given you more confidence to look at your profit and loss reports and customize them to your needs of your business. Thank you for watching this episode of the QuickBooks video series hosted by Protea Academy. In the next episode, we'll take a look at the balance sheet report.